Hi.
Tricky.
I think they're just, they're trying to keep folks on.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Keith. Hey, Matt.
Keith,
Hello,
Matt,
gents.
how's it going?
Excellent.
Great.
Okay, it's 9:30. I just said 9:39. 6:31. Are we waiting for someone else to join us?
You are live right now. The applicants have not joined, and I think Amber said she reached out, but she hadn't heard back yet, so.
So what we can do is probably start the meeting, probably just go over minutes and we approve that and see if they join, and at point time we can decide if we're gonna continue or not. Yeah. But we can still review it and just sending in the minutes, right? But normally you still want them to do a presentation, right, Matt?
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yes, sorry. Yes. We can review it without them. It's just always helpful when they're here, but we can absolutely review it without them.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, it's now 6:32. We call the meeting to order. And good afternoon, everyone. This is the meeting for the Conservation Board. We have an agenda. I think we have one application to review for this afternoon. We also have the minutes of the last meeting of July 19 to approve. So this will be agenda says. We can go back and let's just start with the agenda for this afternoon. Does anyone, let us look at the project. Does anyone have any comments or questions on the project? The application. The application is requesting people to demolish the building, probably known as Denny's Restaurant, and build a Valvoline instant oil change building. Did anyone have a chance to review it?
Yes, I did take a look at it. I really was hoping to get, input from the folks, but I took a look at it. Since it's already paved and just kind of changing out buildings, if you will, I didn't see anything that stood out. But again, I really wanted to hear from the developers.
So I had two questions. I mean, they were proposing that with the new building, they were going to reduce the amount of runoff and stuff like that. And I was trying to figure out what exactly are they saying. Because if we're just removing one building and instead of new construction is going to reduce it, how is that going to happen? And it's just from my own knowledge. If it's a design thing or is it that footprint is going to be smaller? I wasn't sure of that. And then they were also going to reduce it. They want us to consider booking the reduction in their parking spaces. That's different to the town code. So I was trying to understand what was the justification behind it and what would make us want to agree to that.
See, I thought those two were actually related because I thought because of the type of place it is and the fact that folks, sit in their car and go through, since they need less parking spaces, they might be lessening the paved portion. So there should be less runoff if there's less pavement, more actual ground to soak in the water. So I thought those two were actually connected. So I'd be okay with them having less parking spaces and more, grass or pervious surfaces. Myself.
I mentioned somewhere that the new design will be 25% less impervious surface than the existing.
So that's a win for us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they gonna take up excavates, because maybe I missed it, but they did say they're gonna take up some of the part, the asphalt, the black, as the asphalt and stuff, so that it becomes impervious.
That was my assumption when they were going for less parking spaces, yes.
Okay.
But I didn't specifically notice that or look for that.
Yeah,
I
I just
saw-
didn't want to take that for granted.
Right,
It's,
right.
it makes sense, but they spell out a lot of other things, but they didn't spell that out. So I was just wondering if there was a reason for that. So it would have been helpful if they'd be here to explain that.
Yeah. I'm gonna look and see real quick if I can figure out which one it was on.
Are
Yeah.
they actually asking for approval of the building or just to demolish the current building?
I think it's a bit of both.
So do we think they'll be back once they start phase 2, new construction?
Well, they go before the board on the 22nd. I mean, in October, first week in October.
Okay.
So, if they can find it.
Yeah, looks like right now, just reading the meeting agenda, applicants requesting approval to demolish the building. Well, no, it does say and build the new oil
Right.
change.
If
Yeah,
you
I don't know
look
if it's supposed to be all tonight or what.
right, if you look at the letter of intent,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, it might be, I think we've all driven by it dozens of times,
Yep.
hundreds of times. But it might be good to look at it and see what's there. If there's more time, maybe we can do it. Do a site walk if we think it's valuable.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find the existing. Excuse me.
Matt, some of that info is in that letter of intent.
Is it? I was looking at the
Reduction of
different site
25%.
plans.
Yeah. List the parking spaces. They're proposing 11, including one ADA space. It says the number of required spaces is 18, but we were proposing 11, including one ADA space. But to your point, reducing the impervious area by 25%. Looks like that retention pond would maintain, kind of just stay where it is, I guess. Detention pond, excuse me.
well, if they're reducing the previous space, then that pond will have less of an impact.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's a plus thing. So you're not trying to do anything with that pond.
Yeah. I don't see anything that overlays that has new overlaying old, just to see what we're dealing with here. But
I-
I mean, go ahead.
Man, I think if you look at the site plan on pages 2 and 3, I think it doesn't put them on the same page, but yeah, you can kind of flip back and forth and see the existing and I think that's what it is. It's hard to read
Mm-hmm.
maybe not.
Well, page 2 is definitely the proposed
new.
building.
Yeah. I was looking at page 3 thinking it was the existing. But maybe,
Oh, I see. What's the existing to be removed, existing to remain? Okay, so there is so page 3, if you look at the key lower right, demolition keynotes, 01 and 02 are existing to be removed and existing to remain. So where's 1 and 2?
D1, D2, I think it's,
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
a
in the
D1.
drawing itself?
a bunch of them.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not saying, also they are gonna remove the parking spaces.
Yeah, D1 is what's getting removed.
Okay.
Curb, water valve, light pole.
Yeah, not exactly straightforward.
No. Well,
I'm seeing a lot of D2s though.
Yeah, I don't see many D2s, do you?
mm-mm.
No,
A lot of D1, but
yeah, a lot of D1s, ton of D1s.
Well,
so page 5 has a little bit better of an outline, I think, of what will be replacing
Is that the
on the
next
footprint.
page?
Page 5.
Oh yeah,
At least
See,
you can have an outline there.
I mean, as long as these are to the same scale, it absolutely looks like a smaller footprint, but
Way smaller.
I think I'd like to see someone at least call in. I don't know if these guys are local. Doesn't seem like they are.
Yeah,
So-
APD is right up on Fisher's Road there.
oh, is it APD? Oh, APD. Yeah, APD
Right
is
down
like
the street from them.
walking distance from them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it local? No.
right by the traffic lights.
Mhm. All right, so maybe comments could be, we'd like to just be able to have a chance to, kind of discuss with the engineer, the plans in general. We've all had a chance to review them, but we'd like to have a chance to ask some specific questions. And I for one, would just like to see an overlay of the two, or for them just to explain with what they've already got, pointing out some of the changes. But as a general rule, I think I would support less parking spaces and more grass or pervious surfaces. But I would like to talk to them first.
Right, and to add to that, I just want to make sure that the reason why we agree, even though it is kind of obvious that the reduction in parking spaces is going to reduce the impervious space, we want to make sure that what we agree to is something that we can stand behind going forward. Not because we reduce the parking spaces, somebody comes with different type of construction. And so we want to reduce this parking space, we can get more stuff done, and we set the precedence by decreasing the parking space for this project. And we don't have something solid to support the agreement to that. So we should also make a note that this is based on the fact that they increase in the impervious space, so you can have less runoff, which would be a better impact to the environment, as opposed to it being a benefit to the construction to the project as a whole, as opposed to the environment. Just to put it on paper, that's just for the records.
Let's look at the elevations too.
Yeah, I think I would support the the overall narrative of less footprint, more, we'll say green space, open space, whatever you want to call it. I think I'm interested, in just a general bottom line narrative of what's changed, what's different.
I agree.
I'd like to know what kind of trees they're planting too, what kind of plantings, what the landscape. I see, looks like there's some sort of landscape plan in here.
But he said he's going to remove some invasive ones and replant some of this stuff. Really nice to know what he's going to replace it with. But he said, and see what he said he's going to replace it with.
I think I'd like to know if we're also looking at the new part of this project, just generally speaking, we ask anywhere that's has vehicles or garages or dealing with fluids from a vehicle, what's their control plan? How do they, obviously this is a corporation, so I'd expect them to have some sort of, controlled process to make sure there's no spillage or anything, but I'd like to know just at a high level, what is that exactly?
Mm.
So maybe we can detail some of these questions out to them so they can come prepared to the next meeting, hit the ground running.
Yeah, and do we have an opportunity to chat with them before they go before the board? I forget. I'm sorry. When do they go before planning?
I think it's at October 12th.
Okay. So yeah, so they could, we can enter these comments and we could get them on with us before that, which would be perfect.
So Andrew, I think if you look at drawing 7.2 here, so you start talking about some of the construction material. It's not really very clear on my thing, but it looked as though they will get into details of what they would do for internal operations.
Okay.
But again, it'd be nice for him to just come and just give us that high level overview so you could connect all the dots.
Yep. All right. That sounds good. Any other discussion there then?
No, I think that sounds like a good plan to me.
Cool.
Agreed.
All right. So that being said, we can go to the minutes of July 19th. Ever had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yeah, I read through them. The only thing I notice, I feel silly when it's just like a grammatical thing, but Pat's last name was Coleman in one spot, I noticed, instead of Coleman. Other than that, thought it was fine.
There's two of us, Tim.
Wow.
It's a plural thing.
Good eye.
The gramental.
Any
All
other-
right. No other comments for me.
Yeah, no, I thought
Same.
she did a good job capturing it. It was a long meeting, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's long. Then I'll make the motion that we approve them
I will second
With-
the motion.
with changing Pat's last name, correcting Pat's last name.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objections? No, anybody abstain? Okay, so The minutes is approved with the correction to Pat's last name. It's accepted by all. Thank you, gentlemen. Is there any other business that we want to discuss today?
None for
I
me.
saw that, I saw
Nope.
that the newsletter came out. You got a chance to read it?
I'm sorry, what came out?
The
Say,
newsletter?
The Victor Voice. I
Victor
missed
Voice.
that. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Did Pat's article get in?
I
No.
did not read all the way through, no.
which one? I think we're due to, not to call it out, I think we're due to write one for the winter, right?
Yes,
think
that
so.
would be very nice.
When's that due? When's the winter one due?
It is due October 3rd.
Ooh, couple weeks,
Oy.
Good job, Matt.
under 2 weeks.
What do you guys want to write it on about?
Who wrote the last one?
You and I co-piloted it, I think, Tim.
Okay.
I was
Did
supposed
you-
to co-pilot. Wasn't I
I
supposed
wonder
to
if we could-
co-pilot with somebody? Who was it? Was it you, Matt, or Andrew that was supposed to co-pilot it? No, it was supposed to be you, Pat.
Okay.
Um,
I'm wondering if we
So-
could grab an old one and just kind of refresh it.
Okay.
Well,
Sure.
or we had, at one point, we had come up with some ideas on future articles, so maybe we don't have enough time, but we at least had some thoughts on what the article could be about. Or we could just refresh an older one like Pat suggested. Doesn't sound like anyone's jumping it, writing one from scratch by October 3rd.
There's a bit time. I'm out of the country for about 10 days as of next week, so I won't be around.
I could,
Do you have any old ones?
I know, I'm trying to
We
think
can
of
catch
some old ones.
What were the
Is-
last topics that we had? Last couple topics.
We had water, Tim, right? And then using the native plant manual, which we
Yeah.
did, I think was the spring or summer. What was what on water? I think that was what we had slated for the fall or something like that. And then conservation easement,
Yeah.
compliance or education.
And then mine was on like geographical formations. I did it on the moraines and that piece.
I'd say let's refresh an old one. Gosh, it's been a while. You know, it probably wouldn't take a heck of a lot of work.
No.
Does anybody have any saved anywhere?
I'm sure they're probably on the website, right?
I was gonna say, all the newsletters are listed on the website. If you tell me which issue, the one you're looking for, I probably have it still on my computer and I can send it to you.
Okay.
There's one on native plants, the plants. I think Andrew did a while back.
That'd be a good spring one though, I would think.
Yeah, I think that's what Pat and I did in the spring, wasn't it? The native plant
Yeah.
manual.
Mhm.
It was compelling read. I recall that.
For sure.
Siskel and Ebert reviews.
Maybe I could, can we look at the one that I did on the, geez, I gotta just figure out when it was from, but it's probably old enough that it could be redone. If it's fall and people are out walking around, it might be interesting for them to point out some of the things they may come across. So you need to just know what issue it was in.
Yeah, if you tell me what issue, then I can look it up and then I can find the original and send it to you.
Okay. Why
Are you
don't I-
talking
see if I
your
can-
geological ones, Matt?
Yes.
That's a good one.
If you guys
I
think
that's
that's
a
a
good
good
one.
idea. You do?
I remember reading that one. That was before my time, even. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I
Let
would,
me
I
see
would
if I
go
can
for that
find it.
one.
like geological features, I think it was something along those lines. Okay. Why don't I, as long as you guys are okay with that topic, let me go back and see. I may even have it still somewhere. And then let me see if I can refresh it and get it out to you. It needs to be there by October. What did we say?
Oh, October
Because
3rd's my
3rd.
deadline, but if you let me know it's coming,
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can find it tomorrow. It's probably, if anything, it'd be on my work computer. Let me see if I can find it and refresh it. And if I can't find it, then I should be able to figure out when it may have appeared, and then maybe I can get it back from you. Okay, I'll do it.
Hey man,
If you need any,
I'll send you a couple pictures. There's a pretty good drumlin right down the road from me in Brownsville that
That'd be great.
you can get like both ends of the drumlin in. So
Fresh
I'll send
pics.
them. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Matt, if you need any help with like content, let me know on the
Okay.
refresh. And if you need any help with grammar, consult Tim.
Absolutely. Everyone has their specialty.
Yeah.
Proofreading.
Right.
It's great. Editing.
And it's stay
Awesome.
quiet. All right. If that is all, that's a nice segue to the end of our meeting. If we have nothing, can I have a motion to end the meeting?
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Okay. Motion moved.